Turn and a left downwind. Cessna over the threshold, coming up on the white dot, outer beyond the white dot, left turn first available. I got a high wind coming up on about a half-mile final, clear to land outer beyond. Traffic on the left face, you're following a Cessna down low off your left. Square it up just a little bit, and then we're going to get you in. Start your descent, though. Start your descent on the base. Traffic on final, give me follow on base. Base traffic, start turning toward the numbers now. High wing coming up on quarter-mile final, take it all the way down to the green. Cessna taxiing on the green, expedite down to the next hard surface. Get me some speed, there you go, 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 go fast. This is going to be good. I got traffic on a mile final, you're following traffic ahead and to your right. High wing coming up on the threshold, take it all the way down to the green dot.
5 Charlie Sierra, 2 mile final.
A mile final, turn north, and we're going to just make you, we're going to bring you back around. Jet traffic's coming up on about a mile and a half final, runway 9er clear to land.
Okay, all right, let's listen up, guys. If you're on final for runway 9, I want you offset to the left. I got a jet that's landing on runway 9. The jet's cleared to land runway 9 if you can make it. If not, just continue straight ahead. It looks like you're going around for the jet. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
Oh, we had one right in front of us, sir.
Dragger. Let's see, what we got, a tricycle. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tricycle, put it down. Tail dragger, down to the green dot, then a left turn. Short final here, you clear to land on 9, all the way to the white dot, go down to the white dot. Find somebody to follow out here. Kennard, just come to the runway, and I might have to just send you around. That'll be fine. And for the jet, you just want to stay in this pattern, or you want to go back out for an instrument approach?
Stay in a pattern, Charlie Sierra.
All right, just stay with me here for a minute. And my tail dragger, let's see, over the numbers, go down to the green. And Kennard's going to have to go around. Kennard, go around. Kennard, go around. Kennard, go around. And my high wing here over the runway, keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. You do not descend. Do not descend. You got a fast guy behind you. Do not descend. There you go. Keep it airborne. Keep it airborne. As soon as the guy behind you gets slowed down, I'm going to put you down. So keep it airborne. The one that just passed the white dot, make a left turn on the hard surface. All right, my high wing tail dragger, you can put it down now. You can put it down now. And Charlie Sierra, let me get you about a mile off. Let's see, Charlie Sierra, I lost. There you are. Make a left-hand turn. I'll try to resequence you here on the downwinds. We'll see how it looks. Short final, you're clear to land runway 9 on the white dot. Clear to land on the white dot. There you go. And the tricycle left on the hard surface and follow the flagman. Welcome. Thanks for being part of the show. And let's see, just find somebody to follow out follow on the final. And as you get close to the runway, if it's not going to work, we're going to send you around and then try to resequence you. Now, who else got sent around that's not back on the downwind? The Kennard?
Yeah, Kennard.
All right, Kennard, there's a Gulfstream up there that went around too. I just lost sight of him, but you're going to make kind of a left-hand turn and stay low. I think Charlie Sierra, what's your altitude?
3,200.
Okay, that'll be fine. Just maintain VFR. I don't know what else is up there above you. Probably most everybody's down here, so just make a left-hand turn. We'll try to get you back here.
Kennard got the jet in tight.
Okay, the RV, maybe an RV-10, whatever, you're on final. Keep your speed up and go all the way down to the, aim for the green dot for me. Actually, keep your speed up. There's a guy behind you. Aim for the green dot, and I'm sure that's plenty of room for you to land on runway 9. You're clear to land on runway 9. Number 2, you're going to go down to the white dot. Follow the white dot. Actually, you know what? That's 1,500 feet. You're going to land at the white dot. The spacing looks adequate here. 2 guys on final. You're kind of tight there. Keep each other in sight, and you're going to aim for the white dot. If it's not going to work, we'll come up with a plan B. We might have to send you around. The second guy behind you out there in about a 2-mile final. Are you slow enough to be able to follow that guy in front of you? You need to go around. Well, I probably shouldn't ask that because I had about 5 guys answer me, so I should know better than that after 35 years, you would think, right? All right, so let me see. The guy who's number 1, it's number 1. What kind of airplane is he? An RV type. All right, RV type. Keep it airborne for me. Keep it airborne. And I got a fast guy behind you. The number 2 guy over the trees there. Go ahead and put it down on the numbers. Put it down on the numbers. My first guy just coming up on the numbers at the over the grass at the numbers. I want you to keep it.
T-minus 1 minute and counting.
Hello.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, so welcome to this week's live stream. As you can see, if you're feeling sharp tonight, it's a live stream of the difference because we are four. So Johnny Salmon, the club champion, digital marketing chap, and all-round nice guy is joining us. Hello, welcome, Johnny.
Hello. Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Very well,
Pleasure.
thank you.
Pleasure. Jolly good, jolly good. Tonight we've got Simon Keeling sent us a recording because he didn't want to come on live. I think he was probably scared or something. And then we've got a whole bunch of news. And we'll be joined during the news with Brendan Walsh from Glenforsa and Kat Burton from Cardiff. We'll be talking about the drone wall that people want to put up in Scotland and about Cardiff's airspace and the changes there. Then we've got a new feature, which is well, before the new feature, we'll introduce Johnny. Then we've got a new feature, which is basically trying to figure out if you've got the right stuff. So this week we're asking Johnny the questions, and from next week we'll be asking all sorts of other people, including some of you, if you're up for it, the questions, so we can build up a bit of a picture. And then we've got our normal kind of fantasy hangar, and then looking at events, we've renamed events to the non-event section, so because that's what it's like at the moment, isn't it? Anyway, let me shut up because that's enough from me, and let me play you Simon's video so you can see. Hopefully, there's a weather quiz. Actually, I didn't actually listen to it. It could be really abusive. Okay.
Evening all. Sorry I can't join you this evening, but I hope that you're all well. I know many of us can't fly again this weekend, but it's all about keeping up to date with your weather knowledge. So when we can fly, you can get out there and be one of the first in the air. Now, I've got a quick quiz for you again this evening. This is the forecast chart for Saturday. And you can see here we've got a series of fronts on this chart. But what I want to know is, what do we call this area here where the warm front and the cold front and the occluded front meet? What do we call that area? Is it a trough? Is it a ridge? Or is it a triple point? So this area here where the cold front and the warm front and the occluded front meet on Saturday, what do we know that as? Is it a trough? Is it a ridge? Or is it a triple point? You've got till the end of the forecast to tell me what you think the answer is. Okay, this is how things look then for Saturday. This front moving its way eastwards through the country on Saturday morning, bringing some pretty hefty bursts of rain. I think there could be some snow as well on the leading edge of that frontal system. However, it introduces milder air, so I think most of the heavy rain will be clearing its way eastwards. It is generally non-VFR for much of England and Wales, I'm afraid, but we get some heavy showers then following in behind into western parts of Scotland. Elsewhere, it does improve and it becomes generally VFRable, I think, as the afternoon progresses, particularly sort of western England, Wales, across Ireland, perhaps into southwest England as well. Now for Sunday, a much quieter day on Sunday. Ridge of high pressure builds in. You see that high there towards the south of Ireland. So generally fair conditions across much of Ireland, across much of England and Wales. Low cloud causes me a bit of concern. I think mostly it's going to be western and southern parts of Ireland, across western coast of Wales and into southwestern parts of England. Here we'll have low stratus cloud, and the bases on that will be at about 1,000 feet, with the tops at about 5,000 feet. Further east should be generally VFRable, bases at around 2,000 feet, tops at around 5,000 feet. A few showers for northern and western parts of Scotland, but even here I think it will be generally VFRable. So Sunday is definitely looking like being the best day of the weekend. Now, if you want to know more about weather and improve your forecasting techniques and be able to plan up to 5 days in advance for your flying, so when we come out of lockdown you can get the maximum amount of flying in possible, you need to get yourself along to Aviation Weather School. My next Part 1 course has 5 places remaining on it as of now, and it'll be held on the mornings of Saturday the 6th and the 13th of February between 09:30 and 12:30 hours. It's lectured live by me, you lucky things. What I do is build your confidence in being able to make forecasts yourselves and take you beyond the weather of the PPL, which, let's face it, is a tick box exercise to pass the exam. So it'll be super to see you there. Go to weatherschool.co.uk for more information on that. Okay, so the question I asked you was, what is this point on the frontal system on the chart for Saturday known as, where the warm, the cold and the occluded front meet? Who guessed triple point? If you did, you're right. Well done. Yeah, triple point then. What they are is an area where you should look for heavier periods of rain and further embedded QNIMs at that area. And these tripper points, basically imagine it as a conflagration of energy within the frontal system, and it's here where we'll find the lowest bases, and we'll find heavy periods of rain as well. So see those on the charts, and now you know what you're going to be looking for. Okay, I will leave you with that for now. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic weekend. Even if you can't fly, enjoy yourselves anyway. Make the most of the weather. Have a look out the window. Tie in with the surface charts. Look at Forms 215 as well. And tie the weather that we're seeing outside with Forms 215. You'll be amazed how quickly you'll be able to improve your knowledge of those charts too. And be great to see you at Aviation Weather School Part 1. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.
So lots of people got triple point as the answer. In fact, pretty much everyone. Charlie Parker was the most lateral thinking, though, literally looking at Simon's chart and went, "It's the home of the red arrows."
I thought Stuart got it right. Actually, Stuart went, "It's going to the pub," is what it really means.
Equally.
Seems about right to me. So, thank you very much, Simon. That's good. We hope to get you back live sooner or later. I think you'll be back live probably not next week, maybe the week after, maybe the week after that. Who knows? We could almost be flying by then. That'd be great, wouldn't it? What have we got next? So next up is news. We'll introduce Johnny later on. I'm going to before I hand over to Dave for the news. We're going to be joined by Brendan Walsh, who's the owner and operator of Glenforsa Hotel and the Airstrip on Mull. And if you haven't seen it, I've just got this little short clip for you so you can just see what a stunning, absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful place it is. So here you go. There you go. That was shot from a drone, so there was no sound, I'm afraid. But I hope you could see it. It was an absolutely bloody beautiful place. Anyway, Dave, I'm going to hand over to you while I do some techie stuff and make Brendan go big, hopefully, or not. There you go.
Right.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Brendan.
So clearly, the big story of the week. The big story of the week is that a company called Skyports have announced a consultation because they want to run a trial for some drone operations along the west coast of Scotland around some of the islands. Specifically, they want to go to Mull, which is where Glenforsa is, and they want to go to the island of Cole, back to Oban. The idea is, it's a good idea, really. They want to transport medical samples, and they've been prompted into doing this by the NHS Scotland, and it's funded by the EU. It's always good to have some EU money. And the idea is that they pick up a sample from a doctor's surgery and fly it back to the mainland to have the sample analysed. And they say that by doing this, it could take as little as a few hours instead of potentially 4 days if the sample was to go by sea and land. So clearly, it's not a bad thing. But of course, the way they've done it is the way they have to do it, according to current regs, is they've had to create some temporary danger areas, which are like corridors running around from Oban around the island of Mull towards various places. On the map, on a chart, it looks quite frightening. It looks like they're taking over the whole of the Isle of Mull. It looks like here we are, see? It looks like those Highlanders from the other side of Scotland have come over to the west coast. And in fact, I talked to Skyports yesterday, and they've assured me that the only bits of these corridors will be used at any one time, and that they won't be used constantly, and they'll be activated by NOTAM when the NHS wants it. So it's not a question of them being active all the time. It's a question of them being active when the NHS says, we've got some samples here at Cole, and we need to fly them back to Oban. That's the plan. Now, clearly, drones are a big subject at the moment because there's all sorts of trials going on, as well as these ones in the west coast of Scotland. There's a trial soon happening at Goodwood and again down at Land's End. So we sort of think we have to kind of keep an eye on. But I'm kind of reassured, but Brendan will be closer to it than I am. I'm kind of reassured with what I've heard from Skyports, and that they really want to work with the rest of aviation to make these trials a success. So, Brendan, what's your experience of dealing with Skyport so far?
Well, I spoke to him. My initial concern was the short amount of time we had to deal with this. It was like 2 weeks. And my other concern was I didn't actually know whether they realised the amount of traffic what flies up and down that corridor, because basically it is a corridor, not only to Glenforsa, but if people are going up to Plockton, Skye, Cole, or further north, there's a lack of airfields in this area, and you tend to fly airfield to airfield, so you've got some kind of, backup if anything should go wrong. And also the military, they're very keen to flying along at 300 or 400 feet, contour flying. So it seemed to me it was a bit of a not very well researched effort before they decided to put this on us. They also decided to do it from the 1st of April, I think it is, to about the 20-something of May, which usually coincides on the west coast of Scotland with the very best of weather before the summer rains set in, and then up until September when we get another good burst of weather. So being the beginning of the year, everybody's been locked up with their airplanes, all very keen to get anywhere. And they tend to think, where's a good place to go? And if they look on the webcam, see Mull, see the weather's good, they tend to pitch up. So it could be a bit disruptive that way. I think the feedback I've got from... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all right. Carry on. I'll jump in. I was just going to say the thing that frustrates me about stuff like this is that all of these temporary danger areas, these are kind of all about dealing with drones in terms of segregating rather than integrating. And given that drones are here to stay and there's going to be more and more drones, we need to find a way to properly integrate, and not by segregating, not by going, oh, block this off, block this off, block this off. It needs proper integrating, proper sensing.
Well, I completely agree, Ian. And I was, as I said, I was talking to Skyports yesterday. A chap called Simon Wally, who's head of regulation, and he has a bunch of regulations to deal with. I can tell you, he is absolutely aware that the real way of making drones work in our airspace is to integrate them rather than to segregate them. However, they have to follow the kind of rules and regulations that are currently in place. And the CAA, who's not quite there yet, they're still working towards it. They're not really ready to integrate. They have to, so their way of allowing these trials to happen is to segregate, to separate them. The technology has to move on a bit, and we need a bit more, this is what Skyports say, they need more experience of actual operations before we can get to that point where we can integrate, if you like. So Brendan, I did ask them about how they were going to work with existing operators such as yourself, and they said they're trying to engage with everybody to work out the best ways of doing it. But I think one of the issues is the fact that they want to fly not just to 400 feet, which is kind of like the current height for visual flying for drones, because they're flying what's called BVLOS, beyond visual line of sight. They should keep it 400 feet, but the CA gives them an exemption to go out of that. And on this particular test, they want to fly up to 950 feet above mean sea level, and the reason for that is because of the terrain in that area. They can't always fly around it. Sometimes they're going to have to fly over it.
Aren't they flying up some of the waterways a lot of the time though? So why would you want to be 900 feet up through there? Because
as you approach Oban, apparently the terrain rises, and I guess they're looking at the range of these drones they may not have the range to go all the way around by water.
So it sounds like they need to improve the drone technology first.
Well, I think this is all part of the trials, really, to see what they can and can't do. But clearly, it's going to happen with things like this. We are going to see more of it. It would be better once we get to a point where we can integrate them. And the drones are equipped with quite a lot of technology. They're all bleeping ADS-B in and out. So if you've got your own traffic system, you will see them. They're also equipped with some detect and avoid technology. So if they realise that they're on a collision course, they can simply land. They are being tracked, and the operator can make them land. So I think we need to cut them a bit of slack and allow them to get on with doing the job. We ought to say that in the next issue of Flyer, we have a feature about all this, and there's much more in it than we can cover tonight.
But big subject, and I think the learning curve here is for them to be people like Skyport to be engaging with more people like Brendan, and not forgetting that they're around, because GA is the CA is obviously keen with the whole share the air message. So let's share the air rather than being barricaded from it with danger area.
How have you found your dealings with them, Brendan?
Well, fine. The guys are fine. I just got the impression that it came as a bit of a surprise to them to find that on this of the Highlands of Scotland that there was the possibility of so much traffic, which there is. And my current problem is with the timing of this, that they're going to.
Nope.
Oh.
I've lost Brendan.
Not a great connection out there, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's see if Brendan comes back. There's a feature in the next issue of Flyer. Please, people, join. Work on integration, not segregation, and that applies to the CA as well. Dave, do you want to take? I think Brendan might. Here you go.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm not sure what happened now. It's one of the joys of living in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, my problem is with the short amount of time to consult with this, the point in time where they want to do it, which is the beginning, if the weather exists, of the beginning of a season after having no season at all, and basically we're here. The guys who fly around here are here. They should actually sort of fit in with what we do and not expect us to. It's a little bit heavy-handed. And if you know anything about Scotland and the people in Scotland, they don't take kindly to being told what they should and what they shouldn't be doing, pilots especially. So they could have done it better. And I've got to say that I'm all for drones. I have a drone. It's inevitable. But this particular occasion, it's not been well thought out, I don't think.
Yeah, I think looking at all the comments that we've had, one of them, Clear of Cloud, says, surely the CAA's role is to ensure that quality consultation happens as they're the major stakeholder. So a CAA, I know you've put in place, capability to push this through fast because of COVID, but let's not compromise the quality of the consultation.
No.
Yep.
Indeed. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Brendan.
There's a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
No, just carry on. What were you going to say?
Like to say there's a little bit of pushback when people start pushing the COVID button or the NHS button to get things like this through, and there is a certain amount of suspicion I've been getting feedback that this might be just a way of setting up for future commercial operations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We got a feature in the next issue. There's some stuff that we've been sent that someone's dug out from a Freedom of Information request. So I think it's going to be an ongoing subject all around, and we all need to just make sure that that it works to everyone's advantage rather than to one party's advantage.
That's it. Yeah. So, and we wish you well, Brendan.
You are, and I look forward to coming up to
Thanks, guys.
sampling the scallops, if not the whiskey, which is frankly the drink of the devil.
I look forward to being open.
Yeah, I bet. Thanks very much, Brendan. Have a good one.
Cheers, you too. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Thanks, Brendan.
Bye. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to be big me. There you go. Dave, what else have we got in the news?
Right. Well, sort of along the same subject, electronic conspicuity. Got it out this time. Electronic conspicuity. You remember the feature we ran back in the December issue? Well, we've now put it online on the website, and it's already stirred up a bit of a hornet's nest. So, it's a controversial thing because we looked at some of the systems available, Pilot Aware, Sky Echo 2, Flam, and it didn't always go down well. Johnny, I think you've had a bit of a poll running on Instagram and Twitter. What was that about?
I have indeed. So basically, I thought it was a good opportunity to ask people, have they taken advantage of the EC rebate? Because it's, free money at the end of the day. So it went out on Twitter and Instagram. There was a big difference between the two platforms, but overall, 54% of people have either got an EC device or have purchased one through the scheme and are waiting for it. And 40% of people are still yet to purchase. So you've not got long left to take advantage of it. So you really need to. I know there's been a backlog. They're all out of stock everywhere, but I think the stock levels are coming back up now. So you can take advantage of it. In total, we had about 130 people respond, which is a good number. So if you did, thank you. So yeah, roughly 50%.
Yeah. And as a reminder, when does the EC scheme end?
End of February.
End of February.
End of February.
I just need to add a little bit in there, if I may, just to keep it quick. After we ran the original feature and the video, and both of those are linked on the website, I had a call from Pilot Aware who were kind of a little bit surprised by some of the conclusions. We sent them the data tracks, and they analysed the data tracks. And I had a long, very friendly call with Lee Moore from Pilot Aware, who pointed out some of the stuff that I had that actually was was shown in the data tracks they hadn't spotted during the thing. So once all this is once we can fly again, I hope to go flying with Lee Moore and go and do a little bit more of a widespread test and look at what they're doing. So there you go.
Pilot Aware have just deployed some new technology, haven't they? So that you can look at the reception capability and plot things out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, this is one of those areas that just changes really, really rapidly. So by the time we can fly again, it'll be time for another update anyway. So that's great. And I put that in there because for whatever reason, the whole ADSB, Pilot Aware, P3I, Flam, etc., is kind of this kind of religious crusade going on, and it's quite interesting, really, as it were.
Yeah.
But anyway, next, what have we got?
So, time's
a light-hearted story.
Time's running away with us, so we're going to whiz through the next few headlines. Do you fancy spending a lot of money on a suitcase? Picture?
No.
Picture?
Picture. There you go.
There we go. Yes. These aren't bank robbers. They are British Airways pilots who are, and these two suitcases here, especially made by a company called Globetrotter, they're being auctioned for comic relief. The standard price of these suitcases, the standard price is £1,935. Wow. The auction, the last time I checked, they're already up close to £3,000 each. Yes. So anyway, the story's on the website. You can have a bid if you like and get a carry-on suitcase that is probably very nice. I'd hope so for that price. Wow. Next story. Here we are.
How many BA captains does it take to model a suitcase?
Well, apparently double the number of suitcases. So
yeah, perhaps they're all sharing suitcases down route. Who knows?
Yes.
Well,
what's next?
Perhaps they are bank robbers, and that's all swag. Next story is the peculiar story then of a door from an aircraft. This is it. That was found in the lane 1 of the M4 motorway near Swindon by Wiltshire Police. We kind of have heard, sort of off the record, that this came off an aircraft that was on a truck. It didn't actually fall out of the sky. If you look at it, it looks in pretty good nick. It hasn't got. If it had fallen from an aircraft actually in flight, you could probably been smashed to bits. But so it looks like it's fallen off the back of a lorry.
Fly tipping.
Fly tipping, yes. Moving on quickly because we have got long left. Flight design, German manufacturer. This is the CTLS. This is the new CTLS. If you know your flight design aircraft, you can tell because the cowling looks new. But the big news is they've got two versions of this aircraft. One with the standard 912 ULS engine, and one with the new 912 IS engine, the fuel injected engine. Both of them have now been certified by EASA with a full certification. So, and the importance of that is that they can be used for flight training. That's EASA certification, but the UK will honour that for the next 2 years at least, while they negotiate on stuff. Yep.
Probably.
A bit about Cardiff, Ian.
Yeah.
You know more about this than I do.
I do. Let me bring in Kat. There we go. Burton. Let me just try and sort out. Oh, how do I do this? There you go. Hi, Kat. How are you doing? Kat Burton's joining us. Kat's a senior flight instructor based at Cardiff and also was retired from BA as captain after a 45-year career at BA. It's a huge amount of hours. Must be how many hours did you end up with at BA?
30,000, Ian.
30,000, blimey, that's quite a few.
Of which 15,000 were on 747. So that photograph of the team taking the last one into St Athan was quite poignant for me.
Oh.
Excellent. Did they give you one of those suitcases when you left as a present?
They didn't even give us any of those suitcases when we worked there. They actually got offered a deal where Globetrotter would give every crew member a suitcase and maintain it for life, but British Airways wouldn't let them because British Airways said, "Well, you need to pay us to use our logo."
Right.
Well, we're probably best not go there. Anyway, cut a long story short, just get a little bit of a summary. Cardiff closed its air traffic bit from various times on NOTAM and effectively turned this bit of big airspace here into a prohibited area. That wasn't a very good thing. We all had a bit of a moan about it, and the CA and Cardiff and everyone else came together and said, okay, fair enough. When it's not serviced by ATC, it will be it will downgrade to Class G, or parts of it will go to Bristol. This is the solution they come up with. I don't know, Kat, if you want to talk us through that.
Yeah, by all means, Ian. The current NOTAM, and anybody can find it on the Cardiff website, is a really great improvement. Is that instead of closing the airspace at 6:30, they now have somebody sitting in the radar seat until 10:30 in the evening. That is, so obviously that's a huge improvement, and for most people, that's the end of the story. But at 10:30. The area to the west of that Skydemon track is reverting to Class G, and the area to the east of it is being delegated to Bristol. And that line, as you can see, bisects 5 different CTA areas. It's not a case of individual CTA areas which are marked on the chart are being retained as Class D and given to Bristol. It's that part of all of those different areas is being retained as Class D. Now, my worry with that is that it's not a line that's on anybody's chart. It's one that I concocted in Skydemon. And obviously, if I was flying, I'd have a completely different use for my track line than drawing arbitrary lines off a NOTAM. And that means for me that it really does pose a very serious risk that people are going to infringe the area of Cardiff's airspace that has been delegated to Bristol rather than released it to the general FIR. Now, having had a chat with Cardiff about it, I've now carried on and sent a letter back to the CAA suggesting that there are lots of safer options, one of which would be to delegate the whole of Cardiff's airspace after 10:30 at night to Bristol. Another one would be release the whole lot to Class G. And a third one would be release it back to Class G in the actual delineated CTA areas. And in order to protect Bristol's inbound traffic, and I realise that that's Bristol's intent, they could simply retain or delegate to Bristol the two most northerly areas of the CTA, rather than piecemeal running an arbitrary line up and down through it. Even if it was a straight line, it would be better than that wiggly one. But no, they've decided that that's what they want to do. So it's back with the CAA at the moment.
It's a very weird thing. So hopefully there'll be some news, and when there is some news, we'll report on it.
Yeah, we'll keep you up to date from this end as well, Ian.
That'd be great, because that is a little bit of a weird way of doing things, I have to say. I'm sure someone thought it was a good idea when they planned it. I know, but can you imagine aviation has managed to make something simple complicated? Who would have thought it?
Well, I mean, for me, their biggest thrust of the whole year, especially with people being so out of recency, is to try and avoid incursions. And they've just written a recipe for incursions in that part of the Cardiff CTA, as far as I can see.
Maybe they want to join the Premier League along with Farnborough's new bit, and maybe whatever happens at Bryce. But we shouldn't go there. Anyway, we're running really late, so thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to hearing more from you in the future, and perhaps with some great news from Cardiff. Thank you very much, Kat, and talk to you soon.
Anytime, Ian.
Cheers. Bye. Hello.
What a mess.
Right. What a mess indeed. So it's time for.
Here's Johnny.
You've been waiting all night to play that.
I've been waiting all night to play that. So, Johnny, introduce yourself while I'm getting the quiz lined up and everything else, and I'll talk about the quiz in a minute. Tell everyone out there a little bit about you.
Yep. So I have joined the team to look after the club, to do digital marketing. And my background is aviation. I fly an RV6. I've been flying for about 12 years now. Mainly GA, well, all GA, but mainly tailwheel at the moment. That's my thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to building the club, getting all of you to join, and yeah, we'll have some good adventures over the summer once we can get back flying.
Excellent. Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you. Well, so we've got this competition, which is basically about flyers right stuff. We've come up with a series of quick fire questions, just 10 of them that we're going to ask. This week, we're going to ask you, going to be the launch of the quiz. And then in future weeks, we'll ask a whole bunch of people, including some of the people listening tonight, if they want to partake, drop me an email and we'll start a little queue going. And we'll kind of score you. Now, unfortunately, the thing is, I'm the only one who knows the score and the scoring system, because obviously if we made that public, then everyone would be getting 100% all the time, wouldn't they? But I think I've done it fairly. I think I've done it properly. So are you ready?
I am ready.
That must be our highest production value thing so far.
It took me about 15 minutes, I'll have you know, today.
It's definitely.
Okay. Are you ready with this, Johnny?
Ready, go for it.
Okay. High wing or low wing?
High wing.
Tail dragger or nose wheel?
Tail dragger.
North up or track up?
North up.
Okay. Smiles per minute or smiles per mile?
Smiles per minute.
Smiles per minute. Okay. Paper chart or tablet?
Tablet.
Jolly good. Composite, aluminium or wood?
Wood.
Okay. Stick or yoke?
Stick. Stick.
Jolly good. Go through or around controlled airspace?
Go through it.
Go through it. Jolly good. Glass or steam?
Steam.
I'll resist. Side by side or tandem?
Ooh. Tandem.
Tandem. Okay, let me just.
Well, based on those questions, I think we need to revoke your RV6 and give you a Druin Turbulent.
Well, I am happy to report that Johnny has put a pretty good marker in the sand already. He scored 90% on the flyer right stuff algorithm. So Johnny will be our first entrant in that at 90% in the algorithm. Well done, Johnny. You keep your job. That's okay. And so next week we'll have one or two of you on answering the same questions. So what have we got next?
It must be time for Fancy Hanger.
It must be time for Fancy Hanger.
So we'll whiz through this Fancy Hanger this week. We said, why not? Let's go for our favourite military basic trainers. So basically, aeroplanes that people like the RAF, US Air Force, and the like have used over the years to use as elementary trainers. So let's go for Ian first, and obviously chuck your selections in the comments.
I have a bit of a problem here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The bit of a problem is that the pictures for our Fancy Hanger appear to have disappeared. So I'm going to do is hand over to Dave to run us through these quickly the non-event section while I see if I can go and sort that out very quickly.
Non-event.
Well, actually, it's not a non-event because it is actually a live event supposedly taking place. It's in the States. Do you really want to go to the States to go to a live event? It's the world's biggest helicopter trade show. It's known as HII or Heli Expo. It's being held in New Orleans this year from the 22nd to the 25th of March. The organisers, who are the HAI, the Helicopter Association, they are determined to run this and saying the industry needs to meet, talk, and get together. I mean, I've been to Heli Expo in the past, HII in the past, and it's a fabulous show if you like helicopters. You know, it's a mixture of the ultra technical stuff, the very new stuff, very new helicopters, and it's a mixture of some weird and wonderful things like the Eric crane, you know, the thing that sort of can put out fires over a whole...
Oh, the Sky Crane.
Sorry?
The Sky Crane.
The Sky Crane, that's right. It can lift things, it can put out fires, and there's all sorts of really great stuff there. But the most impressive thing I have to say about Heli Expo are the people. It's America is a land of weird and wonderful people, and they're all there at Heli Expo. You meet everybody from the depths of Idaho and Wyoming. Right, I'm keeping bumbling on because Ian has yet to appear with the pictures.
Okay, I'll be back. Carry on.
There's a limit to how much
This would be the week of one event as well, wouldn't it?
Right, anyway, I've talked enough about Heli Expo because that's about it, really.
Yeah, anyway, it's 22nd to the 25th of March, if it's happening.
If it's happening.
There you go. I'm back.
He's back,
and I think I've got it sorted. So let me go quickly. You only really need one in Fantasy Hanger this week, and that is my entrance. So this week I have chosen for my basic trainer, clearly the Chipmunk. I mean, who doesn't love a Chipmunk? Chipmunk's fantastic handling airplane, slightly leaky engine, but in terms of oil and stuff like that, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The thing for me, why is Chipmunk so special? Basically, it was the first light aircraft I flew in, not as part of any air experience flight or anything. I was on a kind of previous company do, and we went over to Jersey, and I snuck off and decided to go flying. Went down to the Jersey Aero Club, paid them some money, went flying in the Chipmunk, went and took the controls, flew. I just loved it, and so that was kind of my first hands-on flying was in Chipmunk. So there you go. That's mine. Who's next? That was quickly enough, wasn't it?
Yes, looks like Dave. Dave's in the list. Is
Dave.
it Dave photo?
Right.
Tell us about yours.
Right. Well, there are several choices here for me because, like Ian, my first flight in a light aircraft was in a Chipmunk as well. Down at Hamble when I applied to BOAC to become a pilot, they turned me down. But anyway, because I couldn't see basically. But I did get a flight in a Chipmunk. So that was my first flight. But since Ian's already nabbed it, I've gone for the Miles Magister, and I have actually had a flight in one of these as well. I can't remember if it was this one exactly because it was a long time ago when I was working on another magazine. Not Pepper. What was it called? Anyway, began with P.
I can't remember.
And
when it was quite some time ago, was it?
What?
Was it brand new at the time?
And we managed to Shuttleworth managed to put up a whole bunch of Miles aircraft for us, and I was in the Magister, and it was just so lovely. It's an open cockpit aircraft, as you can see, so it's real raw element and stuff, and relatively easy to fly, very docile, very nice. So that's my choice.
Okay,
Like
it
it.
didn't
Very
win,
good.
unfortunately. Who's next?
I think it's going to be me, isn't it?
Yeah. You ready?
And I've gone for unusual and rare and didn't quite make it. But I think my choice so I went for the T35 Buckaroo. It's the trainer you've never heard of, but I think it looks fantastic. It's almost like a retractable Chipmunk, but without the Dripsy Major leaky engine. It was evolved from the Globe Swift, and in 1950 it entered the competition against the T34 Mentor, a Fairchild, the Bolton Paul Balliol, and it lost to the T34. No one wanted it. I think they ended up building 26 of it. Italy and Israel looked at it. Saudi bought the most. They got 10 of them. But it's the rare trainer. But I think tail wheel, retractable, lovely, polished metal, 145 horsepower engine. There's about 8 still surviving. One of them's under restoration on Facebook at the moment. If you go Googling for that. But I think that would just it's the trainer that no one knows. So
yeah,
that'd be cool.
Trainer that no one wants.
I want it.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I like it.
When you said Buckaroo, Ed, I thought you meant one of those rodeo machines you get in American bars.
Or the game. It probably described my landing.
Right, I have gone for something called the Air Beetle. Now, the Air Beetle is one of the only kit-built aircraft used by the military, and it is an RV6. And they were built by the Nigerian Air Force around 1989, so it's as old as I am. We think around 60 of them were made, and they're built to run on MOGAS, obviously, because it's easy to get hold of out there. And it replaced the Bulldog in Nigerian service. Now, Ed and I reckon there are still quite a few knocking around somewhere,
but they've been out of service for 10 years now, haven't they? But
we could still bring them back and buy them and have a fleet of them over here.
Yeah. Why would we do that? So
anyway, in the comments, Chipmunk's been getting a lot of love. Jet Provost popped up quite a lot. The one that we all forgot, the SF260, possibly the sexiest trainer.
Yeah. Is Paul Sengupta forgiven us for not mentioning the Bulldog at all yet?
Yeah, Paul Sengupta said Bulldog 3 times in the hope that he was obviously going to change all the voting. So, yeah, Bulldog gets a lot of love. SF260 does well. Dave White, perhaps the most obscure reference, he says the DFS SG38 Schulgleiter. Hope I got that right.
I think he actually said that you'd never go to an American bar with a radio machine. That's what Dave said elsewhere.
Oh, no, this is Dave White, not Dave up in the corner.
No, Dave White in the comments as well. Classic
right.
Racer saying SF260 is the best. I think he's probably right, actually. It probably is the best. Of the 4 from here, is clearly the Chipmunk. Nobody went for, none of us went for the Sing 3 Firefly, or Ruby's gone for the Firefly. Nice aeroplane. But not a winner.
Surely never been in a bar.
Anyway, we are running late. We're like nearly 45 minutes in now, so we better hurry up. So, Johnny, do you want to tell everyone why they need to subscribe? Not subscribe, why they need to join the Flyer Club?
Join the club. There's loads of us here already. So basically, the top great things about it, you get your landing fees each month, which are obviously not much use at the moment, but we're hoping they will be resumed soon. Also, if you're at the moment, you're looking at getting back into flying, there's obviously lots of kit and things that you need to buy. So we've got discount codes available for money off places like Poolies and Transair. You can even get money off with Ultimate High with some flying experiences. You get your weather updates from Simon each week. And you also get a copy of John Farley's book. There it is there on my phone. You can read it. That's him sat in a MiG-29. So there's plenty of content. So join the Flyer Club, head to our website and hit the Flyer Club button at the top.
And more stuff coming this year under your guidance.
A lot more stuff. And we got a lot more features coming up with participation of Flyer Club members on here as well, in terms of pictures and all sorts of other stuff. But all in good time. We can't do everything this week. I think at this point we need to bring it to a bit of a close. So I would like to thank Johnny for your debut, Dave and Ed, and thank everyone for watching. And we look forward to seeing you next week when we'll have a whole new show with who knows what's going to happen. You never know, do you? So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you,
have a good week,
you guys, and
Thank you
we'll
all.
see you this time next week. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.
Thanks for watching, indeed.